Welcome to Jesus Bible Study. We're going to be in the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 14. Oops, there we go. Seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so the Lord, the God of hosts, shall be with you, as ye have spoken. Seek good and not evil, that ye may live. And so the Lord, the God of hosts, shall be with you, as ye have spoken. Israel had become a den of iniquity, a land of hypocrisy, a place where the poor were trodden down and the name of the Lord was not honored. But even in this sad state, if Israel would have truly repented, seeking God and doing good and not evil, God would have forgiven them and forgave the judgment that was coming upon them. But because they could not, they end up suffering. A lot of people don't realize just how much it is a spiritual battle in this world. Everybody keeps talking about the spiritual warfare, the one that we cannot see. But we don't realize it's actually in front of our face. Isn't this not behind the scenes? To where we can't see that they're up there in the spirit realm and they're battling demons and angels that we cannot see? The spiritual warfare is right here in front of our face. Satan is doing the most hatefulest things and is taking what God says not to do and doing it. Proof in what I say is that the amount of homeless people is building on a high skill, just scoring high. And if you have not seen these videos yet, I'm pretty sure you can look them up and come across them, to where now everybody in almost a lot of places, which is so sad because now we have a lot of homeless families due to the natural disasters, the fires, and just all the earthquakes, and then you got the flooding, and then the hurricanes and tornadoes that have destroyed people's homes. And with the way the comedy is, it's very hard to get back on your feet. So not only do you just have the regular basis of just whatever, how these people naturally became homeless, now you got that added onto it. And the governments, they know this. They know that half of these people, it's not their fault how they became this way, that they can't help it that a hurricane came and destroyed their homes and this and that, but yet they were doing the most heinous things to the people in need. Now we know very well in the scriptures, throughout all the scriptures, especially in the Old Testament, it just keeps talking about how you were to help. There should be no poor man among you. There should be no homeless man among you. That everybody should be helping any and everybody, the widows, the fatherless children, the homeless. That when you go to gather your harvest, those who own the farms and stuff, that you're not supposed to clean up every bit. You're supposed to leave the edges and leave some for the homeless and for the poor. That you're to give tithes to the church, because that church is supposed to take those tithings and give back to the people who are in need. So therefore they're not wanting and not such dire needs. But here's the thing. The government in these cities, and this is what I was talking about when it comes to these videos, you can look them up. And they're building and making it impossible for the homeless to be around. They're making these architectural, I can't say this word. The way they're designing, the architect is making it is hostile. And that's what they're calling it, hostile architect. They're making it to where the benches cannot be laid upon. That those vents in New York from the subway that lifts up all this warm steam and heat, that the people who are homeless can sit above and just get a little bit of warmth, they're covering them with these really weird things so that people cannot sit on them and cannot get warm. If you go into all the train stations, the bus stations, they have removed benches. So that now the ones with disabilities and the old elders cannot even sit down. That everybody has to stand is to get rid of the homeless and make them go so that they cannot be there. They're doing all these things purposely to do against the needy, to do against the poor, to do against the homeless. Those who are in need, they need the ones that need the help the most. They're sitting there and depriving them. Woe to them. We should pray. We should pray. Because we're supposed to pray for our enemies. And we know that God is a God of vengeance. And He's a God of wrath. And man, what He is going to do for the payment of those people for purposely hurting His homeless, for purposely hurting those in need. Instead of using that money that they had spent tons and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on to redo those benches and everything else that they're doing. They even put these structures in. They could have used to then help the needy. But they haven't. Oh, but they got the homeless shelters and stuff like that. Here's the thing. They haven't built no new homeless shelters. The rising of it, they should have built more shelters, and they haven't. It makes things that make you go, why haven't they? Oh, but when they use the statistics to do anything that has to do with the government, and when they take them out, they'll sure use our tax-paying money to go do this to make it better so they can do like this. It's funny how, when it came to the drug addicts, they spent millions of dollars making these houses to where they can go get needles and shoot up on these drugs. Oh, but they're claiming, which it does, it keeps them from sharing the needles. It keeps them spreading certain diseases and keeps the needles from up off the street so the kids, don't fall and see all these needles everywhere because they have all these places to go turn back the needles and to get more needles. It's funny how they can support the drug habits, but they can't use that money to support and help the needy. Things that make you go, Oh, but it's better for the benefit. And none of this was for the benefit of anybody. Except for them to get the needy up out of their face so they don't have to look at them. To make them go and disperse somewhere else. I think I sit there and seen a video where people on the streets of California has been there for years upon years upon years upon years upon years upon years. Camped out on the same street. But it wasn't until this foreign official, I don't care about his rank. He's not important to me because he is not God, so I don't care. I don't care if I mess up his name or that, I don't get his rank right or whatever he is. I don't even care about his name. But let me just tell you this. When he came there, it's funny how they went and cleaned the whole street up to where there was not one homeless camp found, not one homeless person, and nobody made a video about it. Just imagine what they did to those people to make them move. There was a reason why there probably wasn't no video. Because they was probably out there with guns drawn and was kicking and moving the people and destroying, making them get up and move. You can only imagine. But I guarantee that's exactly how they did it because they didn't sit there and wasn't nice about it. But nobody wants to talk about that. And there's a reason why there probably is not one video about it. Because of the harsh tactics they use to shoo them away. And you guarantee that they didn't build no building and had them all round up to that building so they had somewhere to go. No, they made them scurry. The evil that these people are doing it because they are in charge, woe to them. They will pay. They will have to stand and face judgment. So we need to pray for them. Pray that they repent. Because we know the pain and suffering that God is going to put upon them if they don't change their ways. And as a person who does construction and does work for the city, if they was a Christian, I hope that they should have said, no, there's no way I could do this because this goes against my word. It goes against the word of my God that I believe in. But I bet they didn't find out a Christian man to do that. because I bet no Christian would agree to building those structures.